Bob Irwin and Colin Waddell formed Save Australian Dugongs and Turtles 2 years ago to stop why the sea creatures' populations are in decline. In all that time, nobody has brought up the racist issue until Tony Burkes weighed in on it, said Bob Irwin. The main concern is for the animals. He said it was ironic Tony Burkes spoke about protecting seagrass when he was responsible for approving dredging off Gladstone that destroyed more than kilometres of such beds. And Waddell said the pair has never called for a ban on traditional hunting. Now, Alan is on the line. Hello, Alan. You're from Earthrace Conservation Organisation, is that right?
Yes, Macca. Yeah. I was just calling, mate, because I heard the comments that Tony Burke made about people, nation icons like Bob Irwin and Ben Crop, saying it, like racist.
Yes.
And also that people like myself are amongst elements in Australian society. To be honest, Macca, I was gobsmacked.
Well, tell me about your position. You talk obviously what you see as a threat to a potential threat to dugongs and turtles. What's your position exactly?
My position, I'm Director of Operations for Earthrace Conservation Australia. We're a global organisation founded by Pete Bethune, who, as everyone knows, risked his life for whales in the oceans, getting cut in half and by a whaling ship and so forth. So it's really offensive to Tony Burke and say that people like Pete Bethune and myself are worst in society. We're pretty offended. It's a slap in the face for all the hard work that we do. And discussing the dugongs, I've been behind people like Bob Irwin for a long time, and I think talking about a moratorium, now a moratorium is just to establish the numbers of dugongs and turtles to find out the sustainability of what happens to them. With nature, things like pollution, and then on top of it, indigenous hunting. They haven't got much of that, so we want to establish a moratorium so we can find out what the real numbers are.
Alan, it was very much to me a cheap stunt. This is the sort of used to get opponents scattering, maybe 20 years ago. Oh, the prospect of being called a racist. I'd rather not be part of this debate. I'll just go and hide. I mean, that used to be the impact that everyone can see through it now. If you're not part of the debate, if you can't put up an argument, certainly don't show this, because it's not going to see people scattering anymore. They've done that in the past, but they've realised it's a ploy and a cheap stunt. In this particular case, all these defend those people who have the greatest admiration for people like Bob Irwin, for example, and here in Queensland, Ben Crop is an icon. I mean, people who want to know about the underwater environment go to people like Ben Crop, because nobody seems to know more. Nobody spent more time underwater. And as far as any suggestion that he might be racist is concerned, that's about as insulting would go for somebody like Ben Crop, who for years has dealt with various groups or the various Aboriginal groups along the east coast of Australia. So quite clearly, if it was a throwaway line, it's been a huge gaffe. If indeed he's been briefed along these lines, he needs somebody else to brief him in future, because he's been very badly misinformed.
Absolutely. I mean, it's insulting. It's a cheap shot. And I mean, animal lovers worldwide are incredibly caring people. And I mean, if you're upset, I mean, how many households in Australia has a cat or a dog or a bird, or, and there's just so many people that adore animals. Yeah. To call them amongst the worst elements in Australian society is just crazy.
Good to talk to you, Alan. Thanks for your call. Alan on the line for Earthrace Conservation, and the time now on 26 minutes past 11. Taking talk back midday, 1300 872 911.
Traditional towels.